Hey man, check it out, man. Look, today I'm reacting to Murder in the Six Toronto Deadly Gang War Part 2, man, because I couldn't fit all the, ain't no way in hell I'm finna do all this shit in one goddamn part. Because last video, I told y'all niggas I don't know how many parts it's gonna be. It depends on how I'm feeling, because nigga, this is an hour and 18 minutes and 50 seconds long, bruh. Come on, bruh. Ain't no way in hell. And I'm finna chop that mug up. Give me, you know what I'm saying, have a little extra videos and shit, you know what I'm saying? Chop it up so I can have extra video finesse it, you know what I'm saying? Low-key finesse it. But anyway, man, look. I ain't gonna waste no more time. Only thing I want y'all boys to do is like the video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, hit the post noties, man. Hit that bell, bro, so you can be notified every time I post, bro. Let me go ahead and get into it, bro. Let me finish where I started off at. Let me start off where I finished that, nigga. Stupid. My gosh. Where I started off at. I started off right about, I left off right at here. It's right here.
The area of Rexdale has spawned a number of popping rappers out. This includes Nav, who isn't really in.
Oh my God! Get your money,
though. What is a beautiful woman like you doing in a place like this? It is so much better now.
You just bounce back.
Hey, I can't wait
in the streets like that. But also the likes of Young Lava and his brother Young Dubs, Ilium Payback, and from the older generation of Rexdale G's, you've got the likes of Sizzlack, aka LV, who was from Jamestown, Rexdale, and wrecked a crew called IDS. Sizzlack had the song re-released in the 6.
I did some on him, so check that out. If I put this in the video, if it be a card up there, it might not be a card. I don't never know, bro. Never fucking know.
His ops in Jane and Finch hated him and was straight up IDSK. And another big name from this area who you will definitely hear referenced in a lot of the opposition songs is Slugger. Clearly the beef between these Rexdale mans and the crews coming out of Jane and Finch was incredibly heated, and the disrespect for the people that lost their lives as part of this feud continues in music to this day. Now, yet another hood that is relevant to this story is Full Staff 234, who have a long-running beef with Lawrence Heights, aka Jungle. Coming out of Full Staff, you have rappers like Nine, who also raps over UK beats sometimes. His track Too High is a straight up banger, along with a few other names who aren't really relevant to this story, and another name that you are going to hear mentioned from Full Staff later on is Clutch. And then finally, you got connections on the south side of Jane and Finch, near Turf Grassway, home to the rapper Doovie, who makes fire music, by the way. He's kind of bringing a sort of NBA YoungBoy, Lil Baby vibe to Toronto. It's good. So him along with
that YoungBoy, Lil Baby vibes. Hey, I might have to watch him. You know, I mess with YoungBoy. I mess with YoungBoy tough, and I mess with Lil Baby tough. You know, so I gotta react to him. They say you got that little baby. Okay. But then they got I ain't even gonna flame this nigga.
With NHS JJ from South Jane, and they're going to get involved in the beef towards the end of this story. Now look, I know that's a lot of people, and I could really go on forever. There's a lot of parts of the city and parts of the story and other rappers that I could talk about, but we've got to draw the line somewhere, and these are the people we're going to be talking about today. So, now you know who's involved, it's time to get into the back and forth between these crews, taking a look at the music that's dropped out of these areas, how the Toronto rap scene evolved into what it is today, and unfortunately, the insane amount of bloodshed that had to take place in order to make the scene what it is in 2021.
Damn, wait, is there some octagons? Yo, this nigga got octagon glasses. Never in my life. I've seen niggas with Google glasses, square glasses. Most people have square glasses, but this nigga got octagon glasses, bro. I've never in my life seen a nigga with some octagon glasses, bro. Where y'all think this nigga got it? Well, of course the eye doctor, but like what eye doctor gave this nigga, or eye store gave this nigga octagon glasses, bro? Let me know if y'all ever seen some ish like this, bro. I've never seen a nigga with some this nigga, you know what I'm saying? He made like an octagon. Like, nigga, this ain't no circle, no square. This is a octagon, my nigga. Octagon glasses. Yo, this nigga different, boy. They got octagon glasses, bro.
Now, like I said at the start of this video, gangs are nothing new in Toronto, and the cops in the city have been spending decades trying to crack down on and bust the clappers and trappers that run these parts of the city. There was the 2005 Project XXX. These were busts on senior leadership in Rexdale Crip gangs, aiming to break up the so-called Jamestown crew. Then you've got 2007's Project Cryptic, a big bust on the Driftwood Crips, but it was a 2011 bust named Project Marvel, targeting a Jane and Finch-based street gang where our story begins.
Handguns, automatic rifles, and more than $100,000 in cash. Items seized during yesterday's cross-country crackdown.
Yes, in a series of nationwide raids that took around 60 gangsters off the streets of Canada, Project Marvel was the authorities' attempt at disrupting organised crime gangs, running things in Toronto's toughest neighbourhood. The indictment claimed that Jane and Finch gang, the Young Buck Killers, were running drugs, guns and cash all over the city, running the streets so ruthlessly that eventually the cops just had to step in. Around 10 people named in the indictment were young offenders, and this includes a 15-year-old YG and a teenage presser, but it wasn't the teenagers that the cops were really looking to bust.
Whoa. Did this say 2006? Wait, how old Presser is, bruh? So a Presser 25 now. Wait. Nah, this ain't the 2006 one, is it? The one that them niggas went to jail in like 2000. It can't be. Cause it like Presser, if Presser, how old is Presser? Presser 25, right? In 2006, this nigga was a little jit. Like this nigga like 8 or 9. Like he like 8 or 9 in 2006, right? He had to be. Come on, bro. Presser ain't nothing but 25 right now. There's no way he went down in the 2006 raid. Cause ain't no way. Dude ain't nothing but a little jit. You know what I'm saying? And Florida turned jit. You know what I'm saying? He a jit. Cause ain't no way. Ain't no way he going down in no 2000. Come on, bro. What I'm thinking about, this gotta be something else. I'm tripping.
The feds were really trying to throw the book at the senior leadership of the YBK, with the cops' real prize being Presser's older brother, Quentin Gardner, who would later start rapping under the name Boondog. Court documents allege that Boondog was the leader of the Young Buck Killers, calling them a violent gang and crack dealing operation. And things weren't looking good for Boondog. The court documents even referenced a picture that he had taken of himself posing with a bunch of $100 bills spelling out the initials of the gang YBK. That, along with a bunch of other evidence, would make this case incredibly hard to fight, because when Presser's family home was raided, the cops found numerous guns that were linked to shootings that they tried to tie to Presser and Boondog. In fact, when Boondog went to trial, he was even apologetic to the judge, saying that he wanted to set a better example for his younger brother Presser. Sadly, the remorse didn't really do him any favours, and in the end the judge slapped him with a 10-year sentence for around 14 drug, gun and gang-related charges around 2015. Funnily enough, during the case we found out that informants had allegedly told the police that the teenage Presser was actually next in line to run the gang after his big brother. But funnily enough, Presser wasn't even around when all of this went down, because he was already locked up for selling dope from his mother's house at only 15 years old.
Yeah, my brother got convicted for organized crime, the Project Marvel YBK raid. That was 2011, the end of 2011. I was currently incarcerated. Like, I was selling crack through my mom's house and stuff, and I could talk about it because I got convicted for it, you know?
Presser ended up doing 14 months for this in a Young Offenders Institute, all the while his brother is getting jammed up and his name is being mentioned in the Project Marvel papers. Presser eventually got out of jail and then had to go on the run for attempted murder, getting caught, doing time, and then beating that AM charge.
You were on the run for attempted murder?
Yeah.
They finally caught you?
Yeah, they caught me. They caught me halfway across the other end of the country. I did end up doing like 9 months in jail. I beat the case.
So basically, Presser spent many years ducking and diving in the mean streets of Toronto. All the while, people around him, on both sides of the city's complicated gang beefs, are dying in the streets like it's nothing. Presser would lose one of his closest friends on July the 25th, 2015, when his friend Wasi, real name Wasi Skeen Peters, was on the run for a double murder that occurred less than a month before. Whilst on the run for these charges, Wasi was eventually caught one night by the cops, who found him sitting in a car outside of a Toronto nightclub. Guns were pulled, and sadly Wasi was killed by the police in a firefight in downtown Toronto.
Over there, around the corner, there's a vehicle with about 7 or 8 or perhaps more bullet holes in it. According to the SIU, it all happened after 2 a.m. and that's what—
Damn, boy. Jesus. How many bullet holes them here, boy? They fired that nigga up, boy. They fired this nigga up. GG. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ali. Boy, they were that nigga. I'm spitting out my mouth and shit. Bro, I'm spitting out my mouth and shit, bro. I'm boop, boop, boop. I'll probably like this nasty mouth ass nigga, man. Gap mouth ass nigga, man. Fuck y'all if y'all saying that shit. But goddamn, boy. Man, they put, man, what? Well, they gunning for this nigga.
When police officers approached a vehicle on Peter Street and an altercation started. Now, somewhere during that altercation, a 21-year-old man was shot.
21-year-old Quasi Skeen Peters of Toronto was shot by police overnight in the entertainment district. He's wanted on 2 counts of first-degree murder in the double shooting in a building on Lisgar Street. Now, Abdouali Abdoulaye and Mohamed Abdouel Diri, both 26 years old, were gunned down in a 22nd floor unit of a building on Lisgar Avenue on June the 28th. Another suspect surrendered to police days after the incident.
Of course, the loss of Wassi was devastating for the young guys coming out of the Up Top area. The Tall Up twins honoured his memory with a set of chains bearing Wassi's face.
That's why they be having that chain on. I never understood why they wore that. You know what I'm saying? Why person them were wearing that. Or, you know what I'm saying? I seen that chain before. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand why they were wearing that. I ain't know those when they falling homies. You know what I'm saying?
And Presser would later discuss just how hard it was losing Wassi in a moving Vlad TV interview. The loss of Wassi was really the catalyst for Presser's rap career, and as a tribute to their fallen brother, Presser, along with Robin Banks, GD, and FB, would make the tribute song Wasgang. However, while rappers on each side of this street beef begin to make their first significant movements in the music industry, the beef in the street continues on, because only a week after the murder of Wassi, on the 4th of August 2015, a gunman opens fire in the music nightclub where Drake is hosting an after-party for his OVO festival, and this shooting leaves 2 people dead at the scene.
It was almost 3:30 in the morning, also flying shots that rang out, sending thousands fleeing. At 2 crime scenes, a man and a woman were dead, 3 others injured. The man killed in the club, covered up just beside the pool.
Literally, our officers were running towards live fire.
Police were right in the thick of it.
The deceased victims were named Duvel Hibbert and Aurelia Navarro Fenoy, a man and a woman. And the police actually came out to say after the incident that the male victim was known to them from having been convicted of firearm offences in the past. And eventually the internet detectives over on Reddit's Torontology, which is basically the Canadian version of Chiracology, identified that male victim Duvel.
Y'all niggas be, bro, how y'all niggas be having the time to, like, y'all niggas with them posts, with them pages, how do you niggas be knowing this stuff though? Like, y'all niggas be detectives for real, bro. Like, y'all niggas be having them Chirac pages and them the gang pages and knowing who shot who killed who. Like, how do you niggas be knowing this? Like, y'all niggas be putting all this shit together. Like, y'all, like, bro, I went to this Chicago page. Like, them niggas had every single name, every little hood. Like, he shot him on this day at this nigga. What? Nigga had everything. Boy, these niggas y'all niggas is good, man. Them niggas is good. Y'all niggas good at what y'all do, bro. Like, y'all niggas deserve to get paid. Y'all niggas that be making them, y'all niggas deserve to get paid for making that shit. Cause boy, ain't no way I'm finna have the time and try to piece all that stuff together. Ain't no way, boy. Hey, boy, ain't no way. Boy, ain't no way, boy. I ain't that too deep in. I like drill music, but I ain't that deep into drill music to the point where I just know every nigga that got shot and every nigga that got killed. I'm just, man, I like drill, but I don't like it that much.
Hibbert as Slugger from Rexdale. Now, Slugger was clearly not well liked by some of the up-top rappers like Presser. He would actually go on to disrespect Slugger in one of his biggest songs to date, saying on attachments that Slugger got hit up in the party and did a dance. As well as going on to say in his song Secondhand Smoke that he passes the blunt to the guy that hit up Slugger. Furthermore, other up-top rappers like YG posted up on Instagram saying they were smoking Slugger Pack. Meanwhile, following that shocking incident at Music Nightclub, Drake himself would send condolences to Slugger and the city, saying that he is plagued and pained by the violence that continues to escalate in his city, saying that he wants to encourage the new generation to show as much value and gratitude as you can for the life that you've been gifted. Sending his condolences to both of the deceased and all the families.
Oh, bro, y'all be seeing them Drake memes, bro. That shit be so funny, bro. They be saying Drake the type of dude to call his home. Wait, what they be saying? They be saying Drake the type of dude to tell his homeboy, give his homeboy a hug, good night, nigga. This would be so funny, bro. I know y'all be seeing the memes of Drake, bro. Hey, that shit be so funny, bro. Like, bro, that shit crazy.
Lost loved ones to the senseless violence that continues in Toronto. Drake is right, the senseless violence going on the streets of Toronto is a true tragedy. But fortunately, as the local music scene developed, people on both sides of the war in Toronto streets were beginning to see a route out of the struggle through music for the first time. In fact, it was also the very same month, in July 2015, that Smoke Dogg would release his song Trap House. This gets him some mainstream attention, with the song eventually getting a French Montana remix that debuted on Drake's OVO Sound Radio. Drake began...
French Montana feature is really not a feature because French Montana don't do shit on his features. This nigga just put a whack ass, you know what I'm saying? Or even his own song. Like, French Montana can't make his own song. Like, French Montana really whack, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? French Montana make a, you know what I'm saying? He'll put a little sorry verse on the song, and it really not his song. It's his song. It's really not his song, but he's called it his song. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll put a little trash verse on there, but it really be the other person's song. You know what I'm saying?
To show Smoke Dogg love publicly, letting him open up for him on tours overseas, including in the UK where he met grime legend Skepta, with them two recording a fire collab overseas. Meanwhile, the local rappers back up top were also beginning to see their music take off. Robin Banks had dropped his first breakout track, Up Next, as well as the solo hits Marley's Off of Molly, and his collab with Top 5 Hall of Fame also picking up a lot of steam. And following the release of Wassy Gang, Pressa also continues to drop music, like the track Black Mask with Big Bills and GD, and he eventually went on to drop the solo bangers like Demi Hana and To Be Honest. But unfortunately for Pressa, in April 2016, the war in Toronto would reach a dark new low, and Pressa would end up catching a serious case, getting charges that would haunt him for around a year and a half, just as he was beginning to make waves in the music industry. But this wasn't just a regular shooting or beating that you would expect a drill rapper to get caught up in, because the details of this crime were so incredibly shocking and serious.
Oh, is it the one where he kidnapped the nigga and made him give him head, made them two niggas give each other head, bro? Yo, that's crazy, bro. The way, bro.
It's by far one of the most twisted things I have ever covered on this channel.
They say this nigga
behind every great video is a winning script. Behind that winning script,
that nigga's a different kind.
The streets of Toronto reached a new low in April 2016, when allegedly members of Toronto's Young Buck Killers were throwing a party at a rented apartment. At some point, members of a rival Queens Drive Crip gang tried to crash the event, leading to an armed standoff in a hallway where around 8 to 10 shots were fired. Apparently, shots rang out after members of YBK rode up to the apartment in an elevator, getting out of the 25th floor to confront the Crips that had crashed their party, and immediately opening fire when the elevator doors opened, in a scene that was caught on CCTV and looked like something straight out of an old western. Now, in this clip, we see a gunfight in the hallway, followed by an alleged YBK member getting shot at. You can barely make it out in the footage, but essentially a bullet grazes his head, narrowly missing, and after dodging the bullet, he drops to the floor, sliding over to take cover behind the closing elevator door. That bullet in the elevator looked a hair away from being fatal, and as a result...
Boy, you lucky, boy. Boy, you that man almost took his head off. That nigga did like this, boy. What? Well, you almost through, nigga.
The YBK members that had been shot at would come back with a serious response. Allegedly, the YBK members reconvened at a house in Swansea Mews, where they decided that they would target the two people who had supposedly told the Crips that their party was going on. With it being said that the next day, the YBK members summoned two 17-year-old Crips to a property. Now, I'm not sure what they thought they were going there for, but when they arrived, they were then held captive for around 48 hours, over which time they were subjected to cruel and unusual torture, the likes of which I have never encountered in any kind of drill or gang story in the developed world. According to the police, the two 17-year-old youths were tied to a chair and beaten. During their beating, they were forced to play Russian roulette with a loaded handgun.
Yo, these niggas treated them like they was some goddamn slaves, boy. They kidnapped these niggas and started torturing them, and Jesus. Lord have mercy.
Shot was fired in the premises. And whatever was going on at that property was so bad that the police received multiple reports of suspicious activity and even visited the property. As a result of this added attention, the victims were then kidnapped and moved to multiple locations around the city to escape the cops as the abuse continued. And at this point, apparently things escalated even further, with it being reported that the two kidnappees were forced to do things of a sexual nature with each other. And that's not all.
I know what he's talking about, too. He made them two niggas. Like, damn, that shit kind of fucked up. That shit kind of gay, though. Like, yo, he made them two niggas give each other head, though. Like, and you watch the shit? That shit weird, bro. I don't care how much I don't like a nigga and I want to hurt a nigga. I'm not watching two niggas give each other head. That's a different. That's just different, my nigga. That's just different. Watching two niggas give each other head, bro. At that point, I ready for that nigga. If I was them two niggas, I ready for them niggas just to kill me, bro. Ain't no way I'm giving that nigga head. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way in hell. And I'm gonna, nah, bro. You just gonna have to give me a bullet to the head, bro. I'd rather just take that bullet to the head than do that. Just kill me, my guy.
Acts were filmed, and then the kidnappers got in touch with the victim's family, negotiating a ransom for their release. And the details for this ransom were apparently $3,000 for the release of the two kidnappees, and a final payment of $7,000 within a week, or the videos would be released. I've never heard anything so messed up in my life.
And they're gonna blackmail.
So apparently the ransom demands were met, and the victims were released, eventually winding up in hospital. At which point, apparently one of the victims made a statement to the police, which was then immediately withdrawn. But apparently there was enough forensic evidence.
That nigga, he gave a statement to the police, and then, yo, that nigga was scared, bro. I'd be scared. Well, I would be scared, but yeah, nah, fuck, I'd be scared, nigga. But you too, man. Fuck it. I don't even know. Yeah, nah.
For the police to go ahead and build up a case against the kidnappers without even having cooperating victims. And the police would go on to formally identify a number of potential kidnappers, even going as far as to identify the mother, sister, and grandmother of one of the suspects as people of interest too, because it was alleged that one of the places that the victims was brought to was a family home where everybody was in while this was going on. So, a few days after this ordeal all plays out,
whoa. So what he's saying is, this nigga family was in the home while they were beating the shit out this. Nah, that can't be right. That can't be fucking right. Ain't no way in hell this nigga family was in that house while that shit was going on, bruh. He gotta be talking about something else.
The 23rd, North Jane rapper Presser, real name Quentin Gardner, is arrested on charges of kidnapping for ransom, unauthorized possession of a firearm, and assault with a weapon. And when he got to jail, Presser would quickly end up getting into a fight with some rivals there too. However, there would be some hope waiting for young Presser on the other side of the wall, because while he was described as a primary instigator of the violence, Presser's lawyer maintained that he had only played a minor part in the incident, and Presser wasn't identified as the ringleader of the attack, as apparently the most severe punishment in this incident was doled out by a 17-year-old named Ty Shay Pistol Gordon and a 23-year-old named Lincoln Anthony Richards, with cops saying that they were both last seen in the Lawrence Heights jungle hood. Now miraculously, in spite of these serious charges, Presser was able to make bail, during which time he would be free for a whopping 18 months. And thankfully, Presser truly used this time wisely, focusing intensely on his music career rather than the streets, finally giving himself an opportunity to escape the violence that had plagued him and his family for years. Presser's 2016 track Demihana was still picking up steam when he caught his case. Now that track was actually inspired by Chicago drill songs all about smoking your dead ops, and naturally, it was picking up a bit of steam over in the United States. Presser also dropped the song To Be Honest in February 2016, and when he got out on bail for those kidnapping charges, he just kept on dropping. Tracks like 100 Wassy Bars, John Connor, and Lavish, with these tracks leading up to his 2017 mixtape Press Machine. Then his January 2017 hit Novocaine along with Murder Beats was a hit, quickly picking up the attention of both The Weeknd and Meek Mill. And apparently Meek Mill even tried to sign Presser for a measly $20,000.
Tried to sign Presser for like $20,000, and he was going to give him a 10-month leased, was it like a Rolls Royce? Yeah, it was a Rolls Royce.
Anywho, as he continues to pick up steam, in February 2017, Drake is seen rapping Presser's Novocaine on social media whilst he's in the UK. Now, Presser actually went over to London to network in the music biz, where he ended up linking up with Drake himself, who was out there on a European leg of his tour. Presser even posted up a picture with Drake, along with a caption saying that he had dropped $50,000 on a lawyer. This chance meeting with Drake eventually turned into a full-blown opportunity for Presser to open up for Drake on tour, with Presser opening up for Drake in Birmingham, that being his very first show. But the craziest thing of all was the fact that Presser was even given permission by the...
And a lot of y'all be talking about Drake don't show love to the six. Drake don't do this. Drake be showing love to y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? Now that I see it, I be seeing Drake do be showing love to the six. A lot of y'all be saying like y'all blackball because Drake don't fuck with. That's why some of y'all be saying like we don't fuck with Drake because Drake don't. You know what I'm saying? Drake don't fuck with our artists. But you can see Drake really be trying, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes, like, y'all niggas be, y'all don't show love to Drake. When he come out there, y'all niggas be, I know Drake got certain niggas out. He got gang niggas when he come out to Toronto, they gonna protect him. But, like, y'all niggas tried to rob Drake when he came out there. Y'all tried to rob, y'all ain't tried to, y'all did rob my nigga Drake. You know what I'm saying? When he do come out to the 6. But I think it's better now. I think, you know what I'm saying? I do think it's better, but some of y'all niggas ain't gonna never, like, you know what I'm saying, fuck with Drake, but it's alright.
The cause to join Drake touring all over Europe while he was on bail for these serious kidnapping charges. But they let him go, and this really was a genuine opportunity for Presser to go and do something productive and stay out of trouble, and I guess the courts could actually see that for once. So Presser joined Drake on tour along with Smoke Dogg from the opposing hood, leading many to believe that during this time Presser and Smokey had become friends, with them even collaborating during this period. The thing is, not everyone was thrilled about Presser joining Drake on tour. I mean, he was still sort of on bail for kidnapping and torture. Many articles were ran around this time asking what Drake was doing to bring a serious accused criminal on his tour.
Man, look, Drake don't give a fuck about that shit. But if y'all think Drake give a fuck, no, none of these rappers give a fuck about what these niggas probably done beat their girlfriends, killed niggas, robbed niggas. You think these rappers give a fuck? These niggas trying to make money, bro. Drake don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You don't care what you done did, nigga. If you got an opportunity to work with somebody and get some money, you know what I'm saying? I'll make some money. You don't think, you think Drake, that's gonna stop Drake because a nigga tortured a nigga or kidnapped a nigga? You think that shit gonna stop Drake? Drake don't give a fuck about them goddamn charges, bruh. That shit ain't gonna stop Drake. You an idiot if you think you think any rapper gonna stop fucking with a certain nigga because of certain charges. You gotta be a dumb motherfucker to think that shit.
Tours with Drake on European tour while on bail for serious charges.
And apparently the Toronto police were never even informed of Presser's relaxed bail conditions, and the local cops were positively punching the air seeing Presser running all over Europe having a good time, with the cops allegedly even contacting venues in attempts to get Presser's show shut down from another continent.
Hating ass niggas, man. Hating ass niggas, man. See, the police is straight haters, man. How you gonna try to get that man show took down, man? Shut down, man. Lame ass nigga, man. Y'all see them police be hating ass niggas, bro. Them police is straight hating ass niggas, bro. Straight haters, bro. Straight fucking haters, man.
To witness Presser finding out about his shows being cancelled firsthand in Noisy's excellent 6 Rising documentary about the Toronto drill scene.
Kidnapping and torture is just too far. Sorry for the late notice. The venue only raised the issue now. Sorry again.
Now, this was a dope documentary that covered a lot of aspects of Presser's exciting come-up. And I think it's really important to just point out how focused he was at this time. He clearly wants to improve his life through the music and get as far away from the streets as possible.
But really, I'm out here. I'm the next guy to be doing it in the industry, you know? Well, what am I doing being a fucking gang member? What does that bring me? Like, you know what I mean? Running around Driftwood Court. Like, what am I doing there, you know? Like, I have better things and better plans for my future, like.
And throughout 2017, whilst on bail, Presser truly did stay focused, using his time in the UK wisely to collab with Peckham rap legend Giggs on the track Sexy, with that coming out only a month after Giggs had appeared twice on Drake's More Life album, so you know Giggs is tapped in with these Toronto mans heavy. And Presser went on to drop a whole second mixtape by the end of that year called Presser Brick. That project featuring arguably the biggest hit of his career so far, Canada Goose, along with fellow Toronto shooter Tory Lanez. Canada Goose sits today at a whopping 23 million views, but the biggest W of all would come for Presser at the end of 2017, when he was eventually cleared of all charges in that kidnapping case. This came after it was declared at a preliminary hearing that there wasn't enough evidence to identify Presser as the alleged gunman who struck the victim in the head, with it being said that the victim had tried to identify Presser using a YouTube video of him rapping, with all of that apparently just not being enough to wrap Presser up in the case. Now,
yeah, them niggas was bullshitting. The niggas that did that shit, they got this shit did to them, they know if they had a talk, you know what I'm saying, they had to put up a bullshit story, you know what I'm saying, they had to put up a bullshit story together because they know if they had to did that shit, they had to told on the niggas and told what really happened, you know them niggas would have probably killed their ass, you know what I'm saying, them niggas would have probably been dead on a platter somewhere, you know what I'm saying, so they had to come up with something, you know what I'm saying, they had to come up with some bullshit ass story and say you had to show a video of this nigga on YouTube, come on, yeah. Yeah, you see that they had to do that, or it was over for them boys, man.
Now, those other two guys that were picked up initially with Presser were eventually convicted of the crime. Lincoln Richards was brought back to Toronto from Montreal to face charges. Interestingly, he was also a rapper that went by the name Ransky Gleachy. He got convicted and sentenced to 6 years, while the alleged ringleader, Ty Shade Pistol Gordon, ended up getting 9 years. So by the time the charges were dropped and the true ringleaders of the crime were sentenced, Presser had made good on his promise to get out the streets, going legit as a rapper in the music industry. Presser would eventually leave Toronto, moving to Los Angeles, going full Hollywood, even winding up in a romance with fellow...
Well, why y'all be on Color Race so... As soon as I seen this picture, the first thing that came to my mind is that fucking meme with the little roach. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about, a little roach off of Men in Black. Why y'all be on Presser so... I mean, not Presser, but Color Race so goddamn bad, bro. Y'all almost made... Bro, they said y'all niggas almost made her quit rap. Y'all be bullying her too much, bro. She really pretty though. Like, she not really bad. Like, y'all always flaming her body, bro. Like, she not even bad though. Like, she really fine though. You really, come on, bro. She really cute. But y'all niggas always bullying this girl, talking about some. She look like a roach. She built like a stick. Like, y'all niggas are so fucking mean, bro. Like, damn, bro. Y'all almost made this girl quit rapping, man. That's fucked up.
Fellow squeaky-voiced rapper Coi Leray. But the thing is though, even after leaving the city, Presser would continue to maintain his ties to the streets, but in his music, using his hit songs as opportunities to disrespect his ops, whether fallen or still standing. And even though Presser turned his life around whilst on bail, not long after he caught that kidnapping case, a well-known rival from Rexdale would be murdered, becoming a name that Presser would mention and disrespect in his songs frequently to this very day. I'm talking about Sizzlack, aka the realist in the Six.
Disrespected every time. They stay disrespecting. Like,
why are you crying, Kanan?
Pretty much the same day that Presser was arrested for that kidnapping charge, Sizzlack, aka LV from Rexdale, is murdered. He was shot along with 3 other people who survived during a shootout at a townhouse complex in the early hours of the morning. And the timing of Sizzlack's death was incredibly eerie. He was killed only days after releasing his biggest song, Realist in the Six, which came with a music video that had numerous shots where Sizzlack disrespected his ops, including a scene where him and a shopkeeper throw gang signs resembling a 3L upside down, signifying that they are 3L killers, which if you remember, 3L is another name for the gangs coming out of Jane Finch. And not only that, but one of the very last posts that he made on social media was an ominous image, still circulating on Reddit today, saying that even shooters get shot. And according to the internet, he was really about it. And when his death made its way to the media, after being identified, it was revealed that Sizzlack was actually charged in a double murder years before his death. These were the killings of Elliot T-Bone Hughes and Garth Nicholas Palmer, which Sizzlack never went to trial for, eventually having one charge discharged by a judge in September 2010 and another withdrawn in October 2011, with Sizzlack in the end copping to a guilty plea of aggravated assault, only getting a 2-year sentence, even going on to rap about beating 2 bodies on his song What You Know About Me.
She man caught a body, I beat 2.
Now, a lot of the ops have gone on to suggest that Sizzlack only beat those charged because he snitched, with Presser suggesting in his song Attachments that there might be a reason that the ops don't post tributes to Sizzlack on their Instagrams. Thing is though, if you go and look at the court documents for that case, there's no suggestion that Sizzlack made a statement, and frankly, if you look at the details of this case, the crime scene was such a mess, it's no surprise that there wasn't really much evidence to go on when it came to Sizzlack's involvement. So look, I don't know about the snitching allegations, but what I do know is Sizzlack seemed like a pretty real dude, and if the internet's to be believed, he was definitely a feared member. This is probably why you hear the likes of Presser and Top 5 dissing him so regularly, and even going further in what's probably one of the most creative gangland diss methods I've ever seen, as Presser has been seen numerous times rocking a Louis Vuitton belt upside down, because another nickname for Sizzlack was also LV, and wearing the LV upside down is like a secret message signifying that LV got dropped, or that guys that are doing this are LVK, LV killers. And this is a trend that other up-top rappers would adopt, like Houdini also spotted wearing the upside-down Louis. I mean, you've almost got to give these guys points for creativity. But at the end of the day, the reality of this situation is this is just yet another young man from a tough environment losing his life before he really had a chance to begin it. But if you think that was bad, in the years that followed, the streets of Toronto would truly become a bloodbath. As in February 2017, news emerged telling of internal cleansing going on within the Regent Park-based gangs, with the war being described as an internal feud between the Halal Gang and Sick Thugs members, both from Regent Park. Now, I can't really vouch for how much violence in the streets is truly related to the music or the musicians that we've discussed in this video, but in 2016, a lot of young men and aspiring rappers rappers from these areas would lose their lives in the most tragic circumstances. A deadly back and forth begun on the 23rd of March 2016, when an up-and-coming Toronto rapper named C-Sick, real name Sion Carrington, is murdered.
This was the scene last night of the city's latest homicide, where a 29-year-old man was shot dead. City News has confirmed the victim to be Sion Carrington, seen here in this exclusive video from City News in June 2015.
Messages on the wall, candles on the ground in this alley on Carlaw near Dundas, where police found the body of 29-year-old Sion Carrington last Wednesday. He died later in hospital.
The way this has transpired, it leads us to believe that it was a targeted shooting.
After his usual Wednesday duties teaching kids basketball at the Regent Park Community Center, they say he was on his way to a recording studio at the other end of the alley. Investigators say Carrington and a friend were ambushed after getting out of a cab. The friend got away. Carrington was shot multiple times from behind.
Then, immediately following the funeral of Seasick, another man is murdered. He went by Santana, real name Julian Weeks.
Julian was found by 51 division officers lying on the ground, clinging to life in a large pool of blood in the parking lot of the Shell gas station located at Parliament Street and Richmond Street. Due to the large amount of blood that was present, officers began searching the area and found trails of blood that led back to the Queen Street East area in front of 362 Queen Street East. Julian was attending a memorial celebration at Annie's Bar for his friend Sion Carrington. Sion was murdered on March the 23rd in the area of Carlaw and Queen in Toronto, much in the same way that Julian was, by a coward carrying a gun.
Now, the cops eventually identified a guy named Tyke, real name Michael Teddy Gibson, as the shooter. He was another rapper from Regent Park that had some early success as part of the duo Turk and Tyke, so he went on the run and was caught a year later in Aruba after allegedly catching another body there. Then, a few months later, another aspiring rapper from Regent Park named Ruck, real name Marcus Gibson, is shot dead at a housing complex near Monroe Street and Dundas Street East, with cops later revealing that Ruck had previously been charged along with C-Sick in a famous Toronto murder case. This was a crazy 2014 shootout at the Garden Chinese restaurant. This was the apparent result of a chain snatching gone wrong that was even caught on video. As two groups of men scuffle in the hallway of the restaurant, guns are drawn and a chain is taken. Now, I probably can't show you that whole video on YouTube, but trust me, it gets heated. Anywho, after returning to their tables, the robbed party tried to confront the robbers, at which point guns were drawn once again, but this time they were used, leaving a man shot dead in a packed restaurant with around 60 to 80 witnesses present. Both Ruck and Seasick were charged in that case, but beat the case. But within 2 years, they'd both been murdered. Basically, this was not a safe time to be a gangster in the streets of Toronto. The slightest confrontation could lead to tragedy, make a wrong move and it could be your own gang shooting you next, which once again drives home just how much of a dead end the streets are, and just how important it would be for some of these up-and-coming rappers to use music to escape these horrible circumstances. In fact, there's one person in this story who was so close to escaping the hood through music before suffering some of the most tragic circumstances possible, and that person's name is Robin Banks.
Robin Banks. Hey, I did some on him too.
As press had toured around Europe on bail with Drake, and the gangs in Regent Park were shooting each other in internal wars, Robin Banks was making progress with his music career and the Up Top Records movement. His earlier songs like Was Gang and Up Next were becoming local classics. His catchphrase TT or Two Turnt was becoming a catchphrase in the city. Tracks like Priceless with FB were racking up views, and rumours were swirling that Meek Mill was even gearing up to sign Robin Banks after he shared the song Priceless to his IG page. But behind the scenes, not everything was sweet. In January 2017, somebody was shot dead after a Robin Banks music video shoot. Furthermore, it was alleged that around this time, Robert Banks had apparently owed a $10,000 debt to somebody in the city, with posts circulating that suggested that he had been hounding Robin Banks on social media for the money for weeks. Whether or not any of these things have anything to do with what happened next, I can't be 100% sure of, but the fact of the matter is, on the 4th of April 2017, things finally caught up to Robin Banks when he was on a night out at the Cameo Hookah Lounge. Banks was caught off guard when somebody opened fire, hitting 3 people, including Robin Banks, who was shot 14 times, getting 1 bullet in the neck and 9 bullets in his legs.
Gunfire breaking out in front of a packed nightclub. The chaotic scene left 3 people shot, sending a man in his 20s to hospital with life-threatening injuries. 2 others, a man and a woman, rushed to hospital with serious injuries. Police are investigating whether they were targeted or just victims of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Initially, Banks was reported dead, but in reality, he had been rushed to hospital in critical condition. Eventually, news spread that he had survived the shooting and was fighting for his life in hospital. Meek Mill sent prayers on Twitter, and the Toronto rap scene waited on the edge of its seat to find out what happened. Ultimately, Robin Banks escaped with his life, but was left paralyzed.
Oh, so damn dumb. He did survive that shit. He just ended up paralyzed. I thought he had died, nigga. He got paralyzed. He survived this shit. He the nigga that did the music video inside of the wheelchair.
Yeah. Naturally, the ops tastelessly made fun of this fact, but in reality, Robin Banks' injuries were no joke. Apparently, he was hurt so bad that his family had to take to the crowdfunding website You Caring to raise a whopping $300,000 to cover his medical expenses. Tragic case, but at the very least, Robin Banks survived with his life intact, where the person responsible actually faced justice. Now, once again, an image has been circulated online that supposedly shows that loan shark that was after Robin Banks saying "got him" before turning their page private, but it's unclear whether or not this is real or belongs to the real suspects in the case. But what we do know to be true is that immediately following the shooting, the police actually pulled over and detained 2 suspects for questioning, but they didn't have any reason to keep them and they just had to let them go. Eventually realizing their mistake, the cops would put out a warrant for 2 people for attempted murder charges, Rashawn Anderson and Nicholas Roden, with the cops also identifying their black Honda Accord and its license plate, I assume from when they pulled them over. Rashawn Anderson turned himself into the police soon after the warrant was announced, while Roden remained on the run for a couple of months, eventually being arrested in July.
This motherfucker right here, boy, this a lot of shit. Hey, god damn, this a low gas video, bro. I just can't. I gotta do another couple more parts. I don't know how many parts are gonna be this shit, man. But anyway, man, I'm finna wrap this motherfucker up, man. Like I always say, man, if you like this type of video, if you like this video and you like this type of content, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget the bell, man. I'm out, man. I love y'all boys, man.